Hello, I'm back again during this lockdown time. Oh, look at my hair. It's getting long. Don't know what to do with it. Don't know whether to go red again or go blonde. Who knows? Think something a bit more natural because I'm not really feeling the red. It just fades too quickly. Well, hair is not important. I'm here today to talk about my path and what I have learned on my path. Oh dear. So I was sat this morning with the birds. I don't know if you can hear them. They're over there cheeping away. Cheep, cheep, cheep. And I've been waking up a lot, very relaxed and just waking up to the sound of the birds. And that is giving me a lot of inner peace. And I was thinking earlier, like, how far I've come in my journey. And you have to understand that there's a lot that I haven't gone into about, like, where I've been and things that have happened and stuff like that. So I'll go into a bit more about that. And just kind of explain where I'm at now as opposed to where I was sort of 5 years ago. So we go back to 5 years ago, I was a fucking mess. I was just so anxious all the time, just really struggling, really lost in my thoughts. I was trapped inside my own head because I was just thinking so much and just didn't know how to make my life the way I wanted it. Like, I'd always wanted to live in a foreign country out of the UK. I really wanted to live in Australia because obviously over there they have a much more relaxed lifestyle, or they used to. I'm not sure what it's like over there now, but when I visited it was just a lot more relaxed over there than it is in the UK. The UK is so full on, it's so fast paced, it's really like everything's just hammered on top of you. You've got so much on your plate over there, it's ridiculous. And it causes anxiety, like running our own business and everything like that was just really, really tough because you've got taxes to pay to pay and stuff like that. You've got me trying to kind of make it as a photographer and everything like that, but having issues with myself and not kind of being able to do what I want to do because I've got all these issues with myself. I've got so many issues with things and that. I've got all this sort of negativity surrounding me, like this feeling of never being good enough was a massive thing for me. Like looking at my own artwork and everything like that and not being able to really appreciate what I was doing and just seeing it as not good enough and like basing my feelings of myself on like how many likes I was getting. Like if one piece would get more than the others, then I'd be like, yeah, but I really like that other piece more. And not having the inner kind of peace of knowing that everything that I was doing was good. Not being able to see that was like, really holding me back and really sort of affecting my view on everything. And like I could diagnose myself with loads of different mental illnesses, and that obviously I had conversion disorder, which is like a culmination of everything kind of coming together, and you're just in like mental, like your inner workings inside your head. Nobody can see what it's like in there. Nobody can see what it's like, but it's like chaos. It's like the same thoughts going round and round, and you're inside your head all the time. and you're going over past things, and you're going over, like, you know, the mistakes that you've made in your life, and, like, you know in your heart you're a good person, and you're fucking up and you're making these mistakes, and you're like questioning, why am I like this? Why the fuck am I doing this? What the fuck is wrong with me? There's something wrong with me, you know. This isn't who I want to be. This isn't, like, you know, I don't want to be making these mistakes and that, and yet I am. And I'm fucking up, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm a fucking mess. You know, I'm really a mess, and I'm not happy, and I'm like, you know, it's really affecting my health and that. My brain's shutting me down because I'm so unhappy. I'm so conflicted in how I feel. I've got all this inner conflict. Nobody can see it. Like, the kind of life that you present to the outside world. I mean, I try and be quite open and honest about, like, panic attacks and anxieties and things like that, so people know that it's going on with me. But, like, if you just meet me for a couple of hours or something like that, you'll be like, oh, she seems really happy, blah, blah, blah. You know, you wouldn't have known that anything was up with me, because, for one thing, I didn't talk about my past. I didn't talk about the things that made me who I was, and that, because it was really painful. I couldn't even express it in words because I couldn't understand, like, things that I'd done and stuff like that, things that I'd hidden from myself. I just couldn't understand it. And it's funny because somebody turned around to me and they said not long ago, you know, oh, you it's good that, like, you're medicated and everything now, because what you were doing before was not good for you. And it's like, what I was doing before is I was ripping my whole fucking life apart. Yeah, to other people that seemed crazy, but to me, like, I'd seen my own fucking death. I saw how I died, and how I was living, like, kind of made me die this way. It was so unhappy. I was so unhappy. I was in so much inner turmoil. I was, like, fucked up internally, like, really badly. Nobody knew, like, until I started having conversion disorder, and nobody could really even kind of get their head around that. I couldn't get my own head around it. And that, like, you know, my mum looked at my artwork and she said, oh, you're disturbed. And I was like, yeah, I fucking am. There's something not right with me. But the comment that, like, really struck me recently was like, oh, you haven't got anything out of how you were, how you've been with all this spiritual stuff, how you've been. Like, you haven't got anything out of it. It hasn't done you any favors. You know, you've been locked up. That's not good for you. That's really bad. You know, it was like a really negative comment about how I haven't got anything out of this. And I was just sat thinking while listening to the birds chirping today, how fucking much I have got out of all of this. It is unbelievable how much I have got out of all of this. Like, it's insane the amount that I have got out of all of this as a person, as how it's affected me, how everything has affected my state of mind. And that, like, I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I'm like, it's fine. What will be, will be. If this had been a couple of years ago, oh my God, I would have been a fucking mess. I'm not saying the thought of, like, a recession and stuff like that doesn't kind of get me down. Obviously, it's going to get me down. I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I've been through so much in my life, a lot of which I don't actually talk about. You know, I mean, I go into depth about a lot of things that I don't need to, like even fucking telling people that I've been locked up. I don't need to fucking tell anyone that. Yeah, I have no shame in anything. You know, I have no shame at all about anything. You know, it's one of those lower vibrations, and I just refuse to have that in my life. I'm hearing somebody say, you know, you haven't got anything out of all your craziness. I fucking have. I have gained so much. Like, just going over it in my mind is like I have lived 10 years in 5. I have lived so much. I have learned so much. I've not learned through reading people's books. I've learned through listening to other people's experiences, but then like having my own experiences as well, and not going off what everyone else is saying. Like, everyone else is saying, this is bullshit, this is bullshit, this is bullshit. If you believe this is fucking bullshit. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't care what you think. It's not bullshit. I know, like, I've gone nuts. I know that I went crazy. I know that I tried to tear my whole fucking life apart. But for a reason. Because I was so unhappy. I was so unhappy. I was just crying all the fucking time. And I thought to myself, do I really want my kids to see their mother like just crying on the bed all the time? Or do I want my kids to see their mum, the fucking goofball, the fucking like, you know, just singing really out of tune and acting like a knob? Which version do I want them to see? Like, who do I want to be? Do I want to believe in weird shit? Yeah, I want to believe in weird shit. I believe in weird shit because I've experienced a lot of weird shit. You know, people will look at my experience and be like, oh my God, that's so bad. You got locked up. Oh my God. So fucking what? So many people get locked up for their mental health and that. And to be fair, yeah, it probably like did me a favour at the time because it's given me a lot more experience and it's given me a lot more wisdom and it's given me a lot more like, you know, just really figuring everything out for myself, where I could be going in one direction, but I'm like, no, that direction just doesn't work for me. That direction, that old like way of living, that old me, just I can't go back to that. I'd rather have all the crazy, have all the weird beliefs, be a fucking weirdo, blah blah blah, 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 not fit in, be a bit out there, be a bit nuts, like, and have a life where I've achieved something that is so important to me as a person. It's so important to me to have this life where I can embrace the birds singing. I can feel the beauty in that, in my soul. Like, I can feel it so deeply. Like, I wake up and I hear the bird, like, haven't closed my curtains the night before, and the sun's streaming through my window. Normally I don't want to wake up. I'm fucking tired. Like, the world's shit. Ugh. And I'm waking up and I'm like, the birds are singing and the sunshine is like streaming through my window. I created this through all my craziness. I created this. I created the push, the shove, the I need to get out of here. I need to fucking do something. I'm gonna rip my whole fucking life apart because I am so unhappy. They're gonna think you're fucking batshit crazy because you're not going with like how everyone is supposed to live their lives anymore. You're just doing crazy and that. But it's like how much it has changed my life, and what I have gained from that is so invaluable. The inner peace. No more monkey in a workshop going round and round and round in there. No more overthinking everything. Yeah, I might think and be like, you know, I'm a bit worried like that my visions might not come true, but I see them coming to light, and I'm a bit worried about like what these people are planning for the world. I don't really like their vibe and that. I don't really like being forced into doing things. Like having a vaccine, I don't think it's fair that everyone should be forced to do that. you know, we should have freedom, and that I don't like being forced into doing things. But, you know, if that's how they want to play it, then that's how they want to play it. You know, in order to travel, if I need to get a vaccine, then I'll have to do it. That's just what I'll have to do. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know, I mean, I'll be last in fucking line to get it, for sure. Make sure it's safe first. I'm not fucking taking any risks with mine or my kids' health. But, you know, it's just like, just finding my inner peace, and that compared to how I was, the amount of healing I've had to do, nobody sees that. Nobody sees the inner work that you've had to do. Nobody sees like what's going on inside you. They just look at your external reality and they're like, right, well, this is this, and this is this, and this is what's wrong with her, and this is this, and that. They don't see everything going on within you and the work that you're doing within you and what you've gained. I have gained so much. Like, I was lying in bed the other day and I was having like PTSD caused from some dreams and that, and I realised there's a lot in me. There was a lot of fear and a lot of worry, like I was talking about the satanic dream and everything like that. And that was like, because I'd watched the Out of the Shadows documentary, and it just brought a lot of that up and a lot of that feeling and the vibe and everything, and it was like really clear, and I was like, I don't like that vibe. It's like something that I'm familiar with, something that I've experienced on a very strange level, which I'm not going to talk about, but it will come out in time, like the experiences that I've had with things. And what was I saying? Yeah, just I was in bed crying, and I was like really fucked up and like, you know, having PTSD, and it wasn't nice. It just made me feel really shit, and it was like I needed to heal. But then my guides stepped in and they're like, oh my god, will you look at you? Look, stop and look at you. Look at everything you've been through. And I was like, oh my god, I've been through so much. They're like, yeah, look at everything you've been through, everything you don't talk about. Look at how much you've been through, Lena. Like, and how balanced and grounded and, you know, shit you are because of it. Like, you know, you've just got this knowing, like, your reality is completely shifted now. You can remember what it's like to be in like the other reality where spirit guides and stuff like that didn't exist, but you're so kind of connected. Look at you. Look at you. Will you see how much you've done? And I'm like, oh my god, I've been through so much. I have been through so much. I'm not surprised that I'm fucking exhausted. I'm not surprised that I'm like, oh my god, oh, I can't take anymore. And that. Because I have been through so much. Mentally and like emotionally, and just on levels that people just won't understand. And then it kind of like really brought it home to me yesterday, because I was talking to my daughter, my eldest, and she was in tears. She was really upset because she thinks she's ugly. I'm like, what the actual fuck are you talking about? How the fuck are you ugly? No, I'm sorry, I'm not fucking having that. I am not having you. And I could see exactly where those thoughts about herself were taking her. I could see exactly the unhealthiness of that thought there, this belief about herself. I could see what it was doing to her, how it was making her feel. I was like, is that thought making you feel good? No, that thought is making you feel like shit. You know, that thought, you are making yourself feel like crap. I don't want you to end up like me, how I was before I woke up. I don't want you to end up like that, with fucking self-loathing and hating yourself and never feeling good enough, and then having all these behaviors and stuff on top of all that, to like all these really destructive behaviors, self-destructive, like, you know, just really, really hating yourself and not fucking knowing how to love yourself and stuff like that. And I explained to her, you know, this could cause your mental illness. This could cause you, you know, these thoughts, this darkness, this kind of like, you know, really negative self-talk and everything like that will cause you nothing but pain. It will cause you depression. I said, does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel good to think that about yourself? And she said, no. And I'm like, okay, well, then you need to stop thinking that. It's not true. It's not true at all. Like, you know, it's not true. There is nothing true in that. It is not the truth. You are not ugly. You know, you are beautiful. You may not see it yourself because you have issues with certain things about you, but if you just look at yourself, put a bit of makeup on if it makes you feel better. Like, you look at me, no makeup. I said, do I look ugly to you? Is this a face, an ugly face? It's a bit weird. It's got a gigantic mouth. It's got gappy teeth. It looks tired. It looks fucking whatever. But is it ugly? And she's like, no. And it's like, well, you know, you're beyond me looks-wise. You're beautiful. You're stunning. You know, don't look at yourself like that, because you're going to cause yourself these problems in your own mind. You are going to cause yourself to feel depressed. You are going to, like, it'll start affecting your behavior, because you'll be looking to other people to make you feel better about yourself. You'll be looking to boys. You'll be thinking, oh, nobody fancies me, nobody likes me. And I know this myself, because I've been there and I've had this behavior and I've like grown from it. But it's good that I've kind of gone through it, so I can sort of coach her into how to love herself and how to see herself as a beautiful being. You know, it's more than just about your outside appearance. It's what's inside as well that really counts. And it's like, you know, trying not to repeat the patterns of behavior that I had and that, because all that leads to is this mental like entanglement of never feeling good enough, being inside your own fucking head, living this life where you're not fucking happy, where you want to get out, where you just can't be fucking happy because you feel so fucking trapped by everything, and not being able to kind of like breathe because you've got fucking anxiety and you feel like the walls are closing in on you. And you know, all of that is all brought about by how you feel about yourself, the choices that you make in partners. You know, it's so important to make healthy choices. If you're like, there's so many vacuous, shallow people that are like boys that just want to use you for sex and stuff like that around, that are going to make you feel crap about yourself. They're going to make you feel even worse about yourself. If you're already feeling bad, if you're not even 15 yet and you're having these negative thoughts and you're seeing yourself in such a negative way, you know, what type of a life is that going to have for you? You're always feeling like, oh, I'm fat, oh, I'm ugly, oh, I'm negative, I'm this, I'm that, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. You're just recycling that all the fucking time. I wouldn't know all this if I hadn't been through it myself and had to heal from it. Felt like my soul was kind of broken into a million pieces and fucking scattered everywhere through all the hurt and the pain. And like that hurt and pain, I felt every single bit of hurt and pain that I've ever had in my entire life in one moment. And it was like, whoa, that's nuts. That is just so fucking crazy that I've had all this hurt and pain and I've been carrying it around inside me. Now, people can say what they will to me, and it's like, I love myself. Like, if I'm wrong for fucking loving myself, I am amazing. I am so strong. Get called weak. I get called weak because I get, like, down and I feel like, oh, fucking hell, not more crap, you know? And I'm, like, not motivated, so I'll get called lazy. And it's like, I'm not fucking lazy. I'm just trying to, like, get inside myself and fix how I'm feeling on, like, a spiritual level and connect to the earth and the beauty around me to find something to live for. Because it's like, holy shit, years of going through crap, and now another thing's hit, and it's like, oh my god, the uncertainty and the crap and everything like that. Fuck all that. I'm not going to go down that road, because I know where that road leads. I know where those thinking leads to. So I'm not going to go down that road again. I'm going to think that there's always opportunities, that there is always ways around things, that just by changing my mindset and, like, really kind of being who I am and standing in my truth, even if my truth is not my psychiatrist's truth, that's fine. He sees things, he's learned things out of a book. He has learned things from a book. A book tells him what is what. That is fine. He can see things his way, I can see things my way. I can stand in my own inner peace now that I have created by myself through going crazy, through going nuts. They'll say, oh, she's bipolar. No, I have so much inner peace now. My mind is like, oh my god, it's a thing of beauty. I am in awe of my own mind now. It is so big, it is so expansive. Like, I've spoken in a video before where I saw my own mind and it was like, how the fuck am I ever going to be able to use that? It's insane. Oh my god, it's endless. It just goes on forever. Break free of the fucking paradigm. Break free of this, like, being told what is what. You know you're experiencing weird things. Other people around you are experiencing weird things. Listen to them. Listen to their experiences. Don't listen to what you're being told out of a book. Like, don't listen to that. Like, you know there's more to this. You've connected with things that you can't explain. You have this inner knowing. You have this inner peace. You have this something now that you never had before. You have this way of viewing the world. You have a more spiritual, like, way of experiencing life and the beauty of life and connecting with the earth and how important that is. Like, using those things to change how you feel. Using my cats, the purring of my cats, to calm myself. Using the sound of the sea as a meditation to soothe my soul, to take away all the pain and the crap, to take away the worry and the anxiety. I'll just go sit down by the sea. I created this life through going crazy. I created these things within myself. I knew I needed to get out of the life that I was living before. So by going nuts, ripping my life apart, having weird, oh my god, she's weird, she believes in angels, she believes in spirit, she believes in this, she's weird. It fucking works for me. I don't need other people's validation. Sometimes I need to kind of get my head into everything because there's so much. I've been through so much. There's so much stored inside my brain now. There's like 10 years worth of stuff, worth of experience, worth of thoughts, worth of feelings, worth of just crazy shit. There's so much within me now that I'm like beginning to radiate it out to the world. All this knowledge, all this wisdom, like everything that I've become, I'm learning to radiate that out now. Today I'm learning how to radiate that out into the world, how to tap into that divine love, those waves of love, and how to create my own waves. I feel the waves coming in and I realize I can create those waves going out. I can push that love that comes out of nowhere through my guides, through my angels, through everything. I can create that love and push it back out into the world. I can sit, I can breathe, and I can just feel that love radiating out of me. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's a good day. I am creating my own reality. It's what I've been doing all along. Ripping everything apart, tearing everything down to create my own reality. I'm gonna go get me a guitar and fucking sit and chill and play my guitar. I'm gonna sit and drink my herbal tea, because drinking alcohol does not do anything for me at the moment. Like, nothing. It's just not hitting the spot. I'm not getting anything out of it. You know, it's just shifts and changes within yourself on this path. Like, people are like, oh my god, you're not going to go back on this path again. It's like, dude, I'm already on this fucking path. I've been on it all along. All the craziness, all the, oh, she's bipolar, she's fucking nuts. Seeing that, that's me just tearing down everything. The way that I was living was so wrong. Tearing it down, destroying it, and then putting it back together and like saying, this is how I want to live. This is what I want for myself. I want this inner peace. And drawing more of that into myself, connecting with my guides, connecting with the planet, connecting with everything, and just creating inner peace for myself. So yeah. Woo! That's about it, really. I think I've gone on enough. But that's where I'm at now with everything and my weird beliefs and tearing my life apart and acting crazy and she's insane, there's something wrong with her, yeah, she's been driven insane. That's why she's tearing her whole fucking life apart. She's becoming who she was always meant to be. She's healing, she's becoming love, she's loving herself, she's becoming more than she's